यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्. My salutations to Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi, who is residing in Sri Ramakrishna like the fire and its burning power. And she is the universal mother and the embodiment of all knowledge or wisdom. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we are discussing hymn on Holy Mother, Sri Sharda Devi. This is, I think, 5th class. But still, we are in the first para itself, in the first verse itself. When we go on cogitating on these verses, so many divine incidents, so many meanings do come in my mind. Maybe that is one of the reasons sometimes, how much ever I think and I would like to cut short the class and go further, but because of this, I am unable to. And even this today I was thinking, this Pranamami Param Jananim Jagatam, how she is a universal mother. And I shall explain, and let me go to the second verse. But the Sharanagata Sevakatosha Karim, whoever takes refuge at her feet, they attain the eternal contentment. It's such a beautiful line. And the Sharanagata, the word itself, total surrender, it is such a beautiful word where hours together we can speak and pages after pages one can write on the Sharanagata. And this is the whole life task. So hence I thought maybe today also I will discuss Sharanagata Sevaka Tosha Karim, so that we'll be able to understand what is this Sharanagati, what is surrendering, how can we surrender at the divine or at the Supreme Self. Sharanagati, this is the Sanskrit word. It is Gati and Sharana. Sharana means here protection. Sharana means protection. Gati means to go. So Sharanagati means to go for protection or to seek for protection, to search for protection. For an example, a small child, when it gets any problem, immediately it tries to find the lap of the mother. Why? Child knows that he or she child will be well protected at the mother's lap. So immediately mother, amma or ma, the child shouts and it tries to go and hug or go and get into the lap of the mother so that the child is free from all the dangers. Similarly, we can see in the animals also. Or whomever we feel is a secure, is a reliable. So whenever we get any problems, whenever we get any stress, then we try to go and seek his help. But in the day-to-day affairs or in our life, we have seen most of the times, whomever we think our own people, they have got their own limited interest. They have got their own self-esteem interest. They have got their own calculations. Yesterday he was good. Today he is good. Tomorrow whether he will be good in the similar way, same way, it is very difficult to say. So many buts are there. But whereas if you see the God, Supreme Self, he is the sole refugee. Why? Because he is free from all type of defects. Free from lust, free from anger, free from arrogance, free from selfishness, then free from delusion. And he is complete. He doesn't want anything. He doesn't crave anything. He doesn't, anything else is left out for him to achieve. Since he is a Purna, he is complete in himself, and he is compassionate, he is all-knower, he is all-pervading. So he can be the best person where we can take refuge. And now, Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi, she is a mother. She is a universal mother. She is a mother for the animals, birds, bees, or sinners and saints alike. So she can be the, so who else can be the sole refugee other than her? So that's why even Abhedanji is saying, Sharanagata Sevaka Toshakarim. One whoever takes refuge at your feet, he or she will get the eternal contentment. You may get thousands of millions of rupees. You may be the celebrity, you may be the noble laureate, but all of them will not assure the eternal contentment or contentment for the long time. At given point of time, yes. But when we take shelter at the feet of the Lord or at the feet of Mother, then we are saved and also we can get eternal contentment. So this is a very important word. And what is this Sharanagati? Many times we keep on saying that, oh, I don't know anything. I only surrender at the feet of the Lord. I surrender to my chosen deity or to the God or goddesses. We keep on saying that. We utter. But are we really surrender to the God? So what is the nature of this surrendering? And how can we understand that have we really surrendered to the Lord or to the divine? In the Vaishnava Shastras, that is the followers of Vishnu, God, so there this Sharanagati or Prapatti has been discussed in detail. Of course, it is very important for devotee in whichever path or sect or religion he belongs, but especially in the Hinduism, in the Vaishnava Tantra, this has been discussed in detail. So based on this Vaishnava Tantra, there's a beautiful mention of this Sharanagati in 6 types. Let us try to understand what it is. Anukulasya sankalpaha, pratikulasya varjanam, rakshisyatiti vishvaso, gopatrutve varanam tata, atmanikshepa karpanyo, shadvida sharanagati. First is anukulasya sankalpaha. Accept everything which is favorable to devotion, to attain devotion. Accept everything which is favorable to have devotion towards the Lord. Then pratikulasya varjanam. Whatever is unfavorable to travel towards God or to get devotion, then reject it. Third is rakshisyatiti vishvaso. Being confident, being 100% confident that God will protect us. He is the sole savior for us. He is the real savior for all of us. The third is. Fourth is goptrutve varanam tata. The fourth is embracing the Lord's guardianship or and understanding and embracing the Lord is the Supreme Self is the Lord of the universe. Then Atmanikshepa, complete surrender at the feet of the Lord. Not 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. No, complete surrendering. That's what Atmanikshepa. Karpanya, realizing one's limitedness, being humble. How much ever I may be intelligent, how much ever I may be good, but still I am limited. I am limited. My energy or my understanding or what my senses, mind, intellect, all of them have got their own limitations. Understanding the limitations, being humble, being surrendering to the Lord. So these are the 6 ways one can surrender at the feet of the Lord, it seems. Either it can be 1 or 2 or all of this. See, first is accepting everything favorable to practice devotion, to having devotion, to attain devotion. There may be that may be unfavorable from the materialistic point of view, but if it is favorable to attain devotion, then you should not bother. Probably in Saint Tukaram's life it happens. He had to undergo a lot of difficulties. He had to undergo a lot of criticisms, but still he never cared. Why? Because that act was giving a lot of devotion. He was able to go forward in the path of devotion, so he never bothered about the public criticism by his own wife and by his own relatives, neighbors. All of them, they mocked at him. They taunted at him. And as he's a number one fool, he's good for nothing, all these things. But he never cared. And it so happened, once Tukaram's wife got so much angry and she was annoyed and angry, so much so, once she took probably a stick and even she bet him, but he kept quiet. He never reacted. He never cursed. He never quarreled with her, but he laughed and said, because you are taking care of the family, that's why I am able to think of Lord. So every act, probably it was unfavorable from the worldly situation or from the worldly point of view, but Tukaram was very well aware that all that actions are favorable to the God, to attain God, to go near God. So he never cared about the public criticisms. But in our case, it doesn't happen. We are more bothered about the public view, public image, what the people will think, what my family people think, neighbors think, colleagues think. So based on this image consciousness, we keep on doing. But whereas a real devotee, it is not that we should not bother about all these things, no, but the main thrust will be pleasing God, not pleasing the world. That doesn't mean that we should be careless and we should, we should have a bad behavior, rude behavior, and we can hurt the people. No, that doesn't mean that. We should be soft, we should be kind with everyone, no doubt, but at the same time, our main thrust should be the pleasing God. At the same time, we should not unnecessarily be rude to the world or the people in and around. And same thing you can see in Swami Yatishwaranji Maharaj's life. He's one of the senior monk in this Ramakrishna order. His guru, Swami Brahmananji, who was the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna, he told for Yatishwaranji, look, if you would like to have a spiritual progress, fast spiritual progress, or quick spiritual progress, then it is better you should get up at midnight and you meditate. In the normal hours, if you practice 1 hour, whatever the results you get, 2 or 3 or 4 times results you will get if you meditate at midnight. Now, getting up early morning and sitting for meditation itself is difficult for all of us. And somehow meditation itself is difficult for many of us. And with a stipulated time, doing meditation is still more difficult. And midnight getting up and doing meditation means very well you can imagine how difficult it will be. We may listen, we may practice 1 or 2 days, but afterwards we feel it is not possible and we keep quiet. But Swami Yatishwaranji, he took his guru's word seriously. And for a long time, he used to get up and used to sit for meditation at the midnight. His disciple today, who is presently living, Revered Swami Gautamanji Maharaj, who is one of the vice president of the Ramakrishna Mission, is 94. Even now, he gets up at midnight, around 10:30 or 11, he goes to bed. 12 again, he gets up and he sits for meditation for 1 hour. He sleeps, and again by 3 or 4 a.m., again he gets up. No yawning, no sleepiness or whatever, is ever fresh. Because his guru had told for him also that if you want spiritual progress, you have to get up at midnight. Whatever his guru had heard from his guru, he had told that. So because his guru told, he is even today at the age of 94 is practicing. So when we have got such faith, unfailing faith in the words of God, in the words of our teachers, and if we can put into practice completely, then only we can say that we have surrendered at the feet of the divine, at the feet of the Supreme Self. They don't care for anything. They care only for devotion. That is highest people, highest degree of the devotion. At least whatever is possible, whatever is favorable to God, to reach God, to attain God, we should keep on trying it. And at the same time, rejecting everything unfavorable to attain devotion. I think very well we can imagine now. Swami Vivekananda says, if you remember, reject as a poison, which makes you physically, mentally weak, immoral, that is immorality, you can say, unethical, you can say, telling lies, you can say, or bad thoughts, you can say, or bad habits, you can say. Whatever it makes you weak, reject it as a poison. Now you tell me, how many of us we are able to do that? For an example, seeing TV or watching TV is not good for life or for our eyes and for our brain. All we know that. But how many of us we are able to watch the TV in a controlled way? Of course, now TV has gone. Now mobile today. In the mobile, in the cell phone, everything we have got. Today, a lot of seminars are happening how to get away from the internet use. Earlier, people started learning how to use internet. Now they are trying to learn how to unlearn the internet use, or rather, how to minimize the internet use, how to minimize the phone use of phone, how to minimize the use of social media. We all know that that makes us weak. It wastes us time. It has got its own, good things, no doubt, but it has to be used in a legitimate way, in a discriminative way. But how many of us we use today? Youngsters, they have become the victim of this internet and social media. So this is in the mundane affairs. The same thing with our spiritual life also. Maybe letharginess, procrastination, and laziness, unconscious living. When we can give a big list, all these things, it takes away our devotion. It takes away the universal love towards the God. So we should check, we should be careful, and we should try to remove it. For an example, how these great people will be there. Swami Adbhutananda Ji is one of the direct disciple, apostle of Sri Ramakrishna. He had come and he started as a young chap. He started living with Sri Ramakrishna. One day, Sri Ramakrishna searched at the evening. Sri Ramakrishna searched for him. He didn't find. Then night, Sri Ramakrishna saw this Latu and he asked, Latu, evening I didn't see you. Where did you go? Generally, he used to sit for meditation every day without miss. But that day he was tired for some reason and he slept. And he told the truth. My dear sir, because I was tired, I was not able to sit for meditation, I slept. Sri Ramakrishna said, what? At that precious time, you slept without thinking of God. Oh my dear, death is fast approaching. We don't know what time we will die. We will leave this mortal coil. And still you are sleeping. How much you have slept in the life. Still you want to sleep even coming here. So this type of sentences we might have heard from our seniors, from our elders, or from our gurus, or whomever. But Swami Adbhutanandaji, Latu Maharaj, when he heard that, he took it very serious. He took it to his heart so much so that he stopped sleeping. Hardly daily 2 or 3 hours, sometime he used to sleep. And the whole evening and night used to sit for meditation. Probably that would not have been a cakewalk for him. It would have been a lot of difficulties he might have faced. But because of that willpower, because of that faith in the Guru's words, he practiced, and he became Gudakesha. Gudakesha means one who has conquered the sleep. It is not sleeping only 3 hours, 4 hours or no. Whenever he wishes, he can sleep. If he doesn't want to sleep, his body will not react. In our case, if we don't sleep for 1 or 2 days, okay, third day, we will feel sick, immediately we'll fall, we'll collapse, all these things will happen. There can be so many side effects for us. But with these people who have conquered the sleep, they can sleep at a time, a long time, and they can get away for a few days without sleep. And whenever they wish, they think they can sleep. It may be morning, afternoon, evening, or in the midst of crowd, they can sleep. This is called conqueror of the sleep. And Swami Adbhutanji conquered the sleep. So just one word of his guru, one sentence of his guru, he took into his heart and he practiced it. When we can follow the teachings of our guru, of the saints or the God, then we can say that we have surrendered. We have completely surrendered. If someone asks you, Swamiji, we are able to implement 40% or 50% of the teachings of the Christ, teachings of Ramakrishna, teachings of a maybe particular saint, then what is the thing? That means so much, means that much percentage you have surrendered at the feet of the divine or at the feet of the Supreme Self, you can think. Then the third quality of the surrender is being confident that Lord will protect me. This tremendous faith, confidence in the Lord's protection is very, very important. In all the saints of life, across any religion, across the countries you see, probably they didn't have even square meal. They had hardly food. They had hardly anything, but still they were not agitated. They had a happy life, peaceful life, not the comfortable life, not the pleasurable life, but they had a peaceful and contented life. Why? Because they had a complete surrender, because they had a complete dependence on God or complete faith on God's protection. We can see in the life of Bhakta Prahalada. Prahalada was just 5 or 6 years old child. Because he used to love Narayana, Vishnu, God Vishnu, his father was dead against. So his father said, my dear, you should not utter the word Vishnu or Narayana. Prahalada said, no, my dear father, he is the Lord of the universe. I shall accept and I shall chant. Then his father said, if so, then I will kill you. Prahalada said, whatever you may do it, but I will not leave the word of the Lord, Lord's word from my mind or from my heart. And he also gives advice, if you want liberation, please take the Lord's name, otherwise your life will be in vain. Then his father, naturally, he got annoyed and angry. He persuaded him, but his son didn't listen to him. Then he was asked to put into fire. He only prayed to Lord Narayana, and he was thrown into the fire. He was rescued. Then the elephants were the elephants were chased on this boy. Again, he was saved. Then he was thrown from the highest peak. Again, he was saved. He was thrown into the ocean. Again, he was rescued by Lord Narayana. Like that, so many times. His father, from different methods, he wanted to kill Prahalada, this young boy of 5 years. But every time he was rescued by Lord Narayana. How is it that possible? Because this Prahalada had unflinching devotion at the feet of the Lord Narayana. So this question may come, Swamiji, will it happen for us also? Can it happen for us also? Yes. When we get 100% faith, 100%, 100% confidence in the Lord, definitely it is possible for us. Even Lord will come and he will take care of us. That's why he has told, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotee will never perish. We can see in the life of Holy Mother itself. Narayana Iyengar, for an example, one of the person who from South India, southern part of India, he received mantra diksha, spiritual instructions from Holy Mother. Whenever Holy Mother used to give spiritual instructions, she used to fall ill for 1 or 2 days. Why? Because she used to accept the sins of the disciples, her disciples. Narayana Iyengar was aware of it. So when Narayana Iyengar, when he met Holy Mother, his own guru, when he prostrated, he didn't touch her feet. Because why? Narayana Iyengar was well aware that if I touch her feet, then she will receive my sins. Already she has received enough sins, so I don't want again to what you say receive my sin also. So he didn't touch her feet while doing prostrations, and with the distance he prostrated. Holy Mother observed that. Holy Mother said, "My dear Narayan, because if you touch my feet, I have to accept your sins. So thinking that you don't want to do that, so you didn't touch my feet." Narayana Iyengar, he bends his head and he nods. Yes. Then Holy Mother says a statement. What unique, and we can understand how much she had a compassion, a ocean of mercy, we say. Holy Mother said, "My dear, Sri Ramakrishna and myself, we have descended on this earth. Descended on this earth for what? Because to receive the sins of the people, to absorb the sins of the people. That's why we have taken birth. It is not for anything else. If we don't receive or observe your sins, then who else can do that? You see, ocean of mercy, ocean of compassion in Holy Mother's life. Well, if we can remember all these incidents and if we can have the faith in her, then definitely we will be able to, are able to or overcome the difficulties. So being confident in Lord's protection. Then the fourth is embracing Lord's guardianship. He's the real protector. He's the real father. We have got biological parents. We should respect. We should love. Even the God is representing them. The God has come in form of parents, no doubt. But the sole refugee, the father and mother of every being is God. You may call Jesus Christ, you may call Allah, you may call Buddha, or you may call Rama or Krishna, whomever you believe, in whatever form, or even without form, never mind. He is the real protector of all of us. So believing in that is also very, very important. And fully offering oneself to the Lord, complete surrendering. Physically, mentally, intellectually, spiritually, in all the way, completely surrendering to the feet of the Lord, to the feet of the divine, at the feet of the divine is very, very important. So much so surrender we can see. One of the apostle of Sri Ramakrishna again, Swami Trigunatitanandaji, used to love and serve Holy Mother so much so, once Holy Mother said, "My dear, can you bring the hottest chilies from the market?" If someone asks us what we do, we'll go to market and we will see, we will inquire, and whatever according to our knowledge and based on the words of the probably vendor or the person who is selling the chilies, we try to get the best chilies based on our experience and knowledge. But Swami Trigunatitanji, what did he know? He went to market, no doubt, but he went to every shops, and he used to inquire, "This chili is hot?" Definitely the shop owner says, "Yes, sir, this is the hottest, or it has just got a lot of hot." And he used to take one chili, green chili, and he used to bite. And he used to go second shop. Same thing, repeat, bite a chili. Third, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 shops he went. Every time he had biting of a chili. And by the time he understood in which shop the hottest chilies are available, he went and he procured the chilies and he went and he gave to Mother. By that time, because of that hotness, pungent hot, his tongue was completely swollen. See, probably he had a lot of pain, irritation, all these things, but he never cared. Of course, this is extreme devotion. We need not to go to that extent, but you see, a devotee will not care for anything else when he loves completely the Lord. A saint by name Mirabai, who she comes from western part of India. She was a queen. She was a prince and she was a queen. And she used to always, do her duties, no doubt, whatever the duties she had, she used to do. Apart from that, She always used to spend her time in devotional practices. She used to call the devotees and saints to the palace and treat them because they are all devotees of the Lord. But as you know that if you are a king or a queen or a prince, then you will have a lot of restrictions. You cannot go and meet anyone and everyone as we meet common people. They've got a lot of restrictions. So similarly, for Mirabai also, her mother-in-law or the senior members of the royal family, they said that you cannot do this. You are not ordinary woman. You have got a lot of restrictions. You have got a lot of protocols. You are not supposed to go and sit with anyone and everyone and start singing the glory of the Lord. No. Then Mirabai said, no, they're not ordinary people, they're all devotees. So I would like to practice devotion. So I would like to go and sit and be the part in that singing group. Well, but you can't do it. Why? Because you are a queen or a princess. So there was a discussions between them. Finally, the royal members, they said, if you want that, then you have to relinquish. She was poisoned also because their family members, but with the God's grace, she was rescued. And finally, they said, if you want to be in the palace as a part of royal members, then you have to follow our rules and regulations. Otherwise, you have to relinquish your royalship and you can go and do whatever you want. She said, fine, I don't mind. She relinquished the royalship. She relinquished all the costly clothes and ornaments and all the facilities. She just a simple sari she wore and she went out and she started living in a hermit in a very poor condition. But she never felt bad about it. She never was angry on her parents, on her husband, or on the royal family members. She was happy all along in singing the glories of the Lord. And she had the experience of the divine Krishna, little Krishna, and she merged in little Krishna. So this was the complete surrender. Just to have the grace of the Lord, Krishna, her chosen deity, she left everything. The riches, all the comforts, name and fame, power, everything she left. So when we get this total dedication to the Lord, then we can understand that we are saved. So many times when we read Girish Chandra Ghosh's life, was one of the households, a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna took his responsibility. He need not to do anything. His whole responsibility was taken by Sri Ramakrishna. As we devotees, when we read the life stories of such people, we also feel that, oh, if we were there during Sri Ramakrishna's time, if we would have been their holy company, even probably Sri Ramakrishna would have taken our responsibility, then our life would have been free and we would have got freedom or liberation, realization or what. Yes, that is true. But even surrendering is not that easy. It is not because of helplessness we surrender. It is because of to surrender at the feet of the divine, you need a lot of strength. Many times people think that the act of surrender is a sign of weakness. No. Only knowing the limitations of mind and intellect one surrenders, that is different. But it is not of weakness one surrenders. No, because to surrender to the Lord or to the divine spirit, you need a tremendous strength actually. Many people won't understand. So when you have got such a strength, such a maturity, then only we can surrender. I can do something, I can jump and I can say, and I can boost my ego or whatever, but real surrender, to have that, you need a tremendous confidence and tremendous strength also, that we should understand. Then realizing one's limitations is also very, very important. Even if you see in Bhagavad Gita, the immortal song sung by Lord Krishna, there, he says that, Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. I have confused what is right, what is wrong. I have confused what is my duty and what is not my duty. So I'm baffled, really. I'm confused. So I'm not able to understand what is right and what is wrong. So I take refuge at your feet. Oh Krishna, please instruct me. What should I do? So there you see, it is a complete surrender. Then only Lord Krishna he starts, what you say, preaching the Bhagavad Gita. Till then, there was no preaching by Krishna. Only Arjuna was speaking, and Krishna he was smiling and hearing, except one or two slokas. When Arjuna said, I surrendered at your feet, and please accept me as your disciple and instruct me. When Arjuna did that act of surrendering, then only Lord Krishna started answering or started preaching. So in all these great people life, we can see that they don't preach simply unnecessarily. Oh, because I know that, I know this, so come, I will teach. No. Whenever people are really fit enough, eligible enough, and if they are in need of it, then only the real gurus or the real teachers and the Lord, they preach it. So here, understanding one's own limitation is also very, very important. I think there's a funny story I remember. One of the monastic disciple of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda called his monastic disciple, a monk, young monk, and he gave some money and his few rupees, and he said, look, you go to Calcutta city and you try to find a good good cow and try to bring it so that we can milk the cow every day and we can use the milk for the monastery use. You know that today Belur Math, whoever has visited, there's a one side, the Calcutta is opposite side. In between, there is a Ganga river, Ganges river. It is a huge river. So the disciple went and he bargained and he went with the different people, with the different cows. And he felt one of the cow is among them available. One of the cow is the best. So he bargained and he paid the money and he took the cow. Then now they have to come. So if they have to come by the land, it will be too far. Then he thought instead of that, we will go by boat so that it is easy for us to reach Belur Math and it will be fast also. Then he hired a big boat and this monk doesn't know swimming. Even if you know swimming, crossing from one bank to other is not that easy because it is very huge. Probably it is more than kilometer wide, such a huge. And the current is also mostly, it will be fierceful. So even a good swimmer to reach from one side to another, it is not possible. And this monk doesn't know swimming at all. Now you imagine. Along with the cow, he climbed the boat and they started coming. And in between, something happened. Something happened, cow got frightened and it jumped into river. Before the boatman, what is happening to understand, before understanding is understanding, this monk also jumped and he caught hold the tail of the cow. And slowly he was sinking. Then boatsman helped the cow and as well as this monk. They rescued and finally, with a God's grace, they were rescued and they were brought to the other bank of the Ganges. And the boatsman said, oh my dear, why did you do? If something happened, you would have lost your life. You would have lost your life. All these things happened. And the monk paid whatever the fare for the boatsman. He thanked them. They left and he brought the cow to the monastery. So Swami Vivekananda came to know the whole of incident. And Swami Vivekananda asked, fool, why did you do this? Because you don't know swimming, even if you know swimming, it is very difficult to cross from one side to another. It's such a huge river that is, and you don't know swimming. And why did you jump? Cows, somehow they can manage to a certain extent because they know swimming, generally, as instinct. But you don't know swimming. Why did you jump? Then the disciple said, my dear guru, teacher, I don't know any of that. You ordered me to bring the cow here. So that's what I was coming. If the cow gets washed away in the water current, then if I come back, then I will not be following your words. Whatever the instructions has been given by you, I was not followed. If that is the case, then what is the point in my coming? What is the use in my coming? So whatever my guru has told, I have to follow it. I followed it. So here, following the guru's words literally, every letter, so strictly follow. So, I mean, it is a tremendous faith. And also one more monk like Swami Nishchayananji or Kalyanananji, among them one. Swami Vivekananda calls among them one, and probably he had little money he gave, and he said, you go to northern part of India, Himalaya range, lot of their monks, mendicant monks, they travel without food and without medical care, so they die. I've seen when I was an itinerant monk, I've seen many people like that. So can you go and help? Then he didn't have money, not much, and he didn't have any house to stay, and he's not, I mean, again, doctor by profession. Only Guru told, and the disciple said, okay. And he went and he learned little medicine. Then he himself was living the Tajdat, and he started giving medicine for people, for sadhus especially. And sometimes when they hear that a particular sadhu is lying on the mountains region, maybe 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, they used to go on foot and used to treat the sadhu there. If his condition is worse, used to put him, because there was no money for them, so used to carry him on his shoulder all the way. Imagine 10,000, 20,000, 15,000 feet high. So in that mountain region, traveling, walking up oneself is difficult, and carrying one other is too difficult. And carrying that particular monk and bringing to their hut and taking care of him as much as possible, giving the food and nursing him. And when that monk becomes all right to the larger extent, then used to be sent. But without understanding the greatness of these monks, why they are serving, because it was not practiced in the Indian monastic traditions. So many of the monks, they started calling this monk as a scavenger monk. Why? He's cleaning the wounds, he's cleaning the excreta of a person, maybe monk or householder, whomever so. So that is a scavenger work, it is a menial work. So saying that the monks community, they never used to welcome this Swami Kalyananji, Nishchayanji. They used to always abuse them. The monks used to abuse these two sadhus, these two monks as a scavenger monks, means untouchable monks. But these two monks, they never cared. They were go on serving. After some time, one great pontiff understood the significance of it. He made the sadhus community, the monks community to understand. Then onwards, they understood and they accepted that the Ramakrishna mission monks, they're really practicing Vedanta. They don't only give talks, preach Vedanta, but they practice Vedanta. So when we see all these type of incidents, we understand how when you follow the words of Guru or the Lord, what will happen? Complete surrender. How can we say that? When you follow the words of your Guru or of the God completely to the extent possible. So that is what important. So here it is what? Destroying the ego, pseudo-ego, unripened ego. One is killing or destroying one's own ego. In one way we can see. The other way is expanding one's ego and merging with the universal ego. Why do we need Sharanagati, the surrender? By surrendering, what happens? The one way is thinking that getting rid of unripened ego, pseudo-ego, or expanding the ego so much so that you will be able to embrace the whole humanity. That's what Buddha did. Buddha didn't negate or leave the unripened ego. Rather, his heart became so big, so universal, he embraced the humanity. Even same thing we can see in Swami Vivekananda's life. Once he tells to one of his brother disciple, I don't understand your religion, what does it say? But I only know that my heart is expanding so much so that it is trying to embrace the whole world or the whole humanity. When I was when I was reading Swami Vivekananda's life, and first time when I read Swami Vivekananda's life, this is the one thing which really attracted Swamiji. His wisdom, all these things, later only we understood. At the first instance, when I was reading his life, I understood two things. One is his spirit of renunciation. The other is his universal heart. What an heart he had. What universal heart he had. And if you see in Holy Mother's life, it is something much more, 100 times, 1,000 times more. She accepted everything, everyone. She accepted prostitute, she accepted sinner, she accepted thief, she accepted saints like, and she accepted good people, wicked people, all alike. We all know that. Amjad, he was a thief, basically. But when he came to mother, with so much love, she treated him, and she fed everything. Then the village people got alarmed. They went and told, Mother, you are showing love and feeding a thief. Tomorrow he may come and steal things in your own house, or he may steal things in our houses. Please don't do it. But Holy Mother said, my dear, he may be thief to all of you, but he is my son, my beloved son for me. That's all I know. So they had to keep quiet, but they were not happy about it. But slowly, when Amjad started coming, and slowly when he came, and in due course of time, he got so much attracted towards Holy Mother love, and afterwards he came to know that whatever others comments and all. So he made a rule to the thief community. If you want to steal, you steal outside of the village, Jairambati, which is the mother, Holy Mother's birthplace. So none of us, we should steal here. Because if we steal, you or anyone, so the bad name will come to Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi. So we should, now onwards, we should not steal anything in this village. We may steal in others' village because to take care of our life. So from that day onwards, the whole Jairambati village was free from thefts. And in due course of time, the villagers understood and they were grateful to the mother's love. Because now the whole village is free from the theft or robbery. See, when this universal love, when it comes, it can change anyone and everyone. So Sharanagata Sevaka Toshakari. So even Amjad also had that contentment, unfailing contentment, which is an invaluable contentment. So when we get the worldly love from people, from father, mother, wife, or husband, or friends, we do get it, no doubt. We feel happy. We need it, no doubt. But when we get the love, when we surrender at the feet of the Lord, and when we get the love from him or her, that is capital H, then that love is unflinching. It is invaluable. It is nothing but immortality. It is nothing but Amruta. It is a divine nectar. We cannot imagine. We cannot explain in the words. So this is Sharanagata Sevaka Toshakarim. If we take shelter at the feet of the mother, she gives us, she bestows all of us the eternal contentment, the divine nectar. So whoever wishes, one has to take the shelter at the feet of this universal mother. Then what happens? Your life will be blessed. It is not that God will be blessed because we love him or we serve him. No, by serving him, by loving him, what happens? Our life is blessed. We feel peaceful, we will be contented, we'll be taken care from all the adverse circumstances, provided we have got faith in them and we have surrendered. How much we have surrendered at their feet, so much protection, so much help, we do get it. And of course, sometimes God also is impartial and we cannot put it into law and cause effect here, logics. Even without asking, without thinking, even sometimes we can get the infinite grace of the Lord. There is no hard and fast rule. But in generally, if we are fit enough, by doing all these spiritual exercises, what happens? We become fit. We become fit. Our instruments, so-called body and mind, become fit to receive the divine grace. When we become the fittest instruments, then we'll be able to get the divine grace and we'll be able to make use of it and we'll be able to appreciate it, we'll be able to recognize it and experience and enjoy it. So may the Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi bless all of us so that we shall take surrender at her lap, so that we shall live the contented life, peaceful life in wherever we are may be. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.